Top of the news tonight. Association of Professional Women Engineers advocates review of science curriculum to meet emerging global trends. Plus, Cross River State House of Assembly engages stakeholders to facilitate passage of Information and Communication Technology Development Agency Bill. Details and more shortly. In a bid to increase active participation in science and technology among young persons to enable them build an engineering-driven career with modern innovations, the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria is advocating a review of the nation's school curriculum to meet emerging global trends. Oba Hyacinth reports that the national president, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Margaret Oguntola, represented by Ndifon Agbiji, stated this during the International Day of Women and Girls in Calabar.
The role and impact of science and technology in creating a sustainable and stress-free society, and the need for the girl child to be encouraged to choose a career in science and engineering to propelling the next generation for higher achievement is one of the passions of APWEM. Another area of interest is to update the school system of learning and teaching in line with global standards, as these issues form the core of emphasis by critical stakeholders, including the National President, Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, Dr. Adebiyi Osim, to reawaken the potentials of the schools to build capacity that will solve myriads of Nigerian problems.
As a long term for the Nigerian Society of Engineers is to engage with government at all levels to encourage the learning and practice of engineering in Nigeria. Beyond just observing the Day of Women in Science and Engineering, the society is also advocating the strengthening of the curriculum to reflect the current day realities in Nigeria.
We have failed to give engineering and technology the priority first. Hardly anything in life when you talk about comfort. Today we are 90 watts. There's nothing we want to do, made easy like we have today, that is not science and engineering mix.
Additional curriculum, making some other technology, current technology that we have now to be inputted into what we are doing, not just old equipment that we have in our labs before. We should follow trends that is happening internationally and globally. Those are the technology that we should be having in our universities.
So this program is basically aimed at pushing the students to think science, and especially also aim at helping to mentor them up to be able to be in the position to make up their minds to take up careers in engineering, which is one of our basic mission and vision statements in APWEN.
The event, among other things, had an experimental competition for the assembling of a balloon car by 9 participating schools, won by Government Technical College, Calabar.
Because it's the first time I'm entering the competition in the school, I didn't know that I would take the first position.
I'm happy because I took first position. It was not like I didn't expect that we were going to take first position.
Excited because I wasn't sure that we were going to take first position.
And I give glory to the Almighty God, because knowledge comes from God. No matter what you teach, if the grace of God is not upon the child will not assimilate it.
The International Day for Women and Girls in Science has the theme and sub-theme, A New Era for Sustainability and think science to cultivate science interest in schools and build capacity and infrastructure that will galvanize needed growth to meet engineering and technological needs in the country. In Calabar, Oba Hyacinth, NTA News.
The need for stakeholders to support the establishment of Cross River State Information and Communication Technology Development Agency Bill to ensure speedy passage into law has been emphasized. This was during a public hearing and meeting between stakeholders and the Cross River State House of Assembly Committee on Information and Communication Technology and Public Affairs. Odwak Etem reports that the bill seeks to create awareness of opportunities and new policies for ICT usage with the objectives of catalyzing social and economic growth.
The importance of information and communication technology cannot be overemphasized, as it is said to be a driving force which improves decision-making, enhances social well-being, and narrows the digital space. Based on this, a bill was raised recently by member representing Akampa 1 State Constituency, Okonowuna, calling for the establishment of Cross River State ICT Development Agency, and was committed to the House Committee on ICT for further legislative processes. This development, however, prompted the hosting of the public hearing, where stakeholders offered their input to facilitate passage of the bill. Chairman House Committee on ICT and Public Affairs, Okonowuna, hinted that the bill is meant to provide for the development, management, and regulations of the practice of information and communication technology in the state.
Collating all the opinion from the stakeholders, the committee is going to sit back and put the opinion together, analyze the opinion. The opinion, no opinion is bad. It's for the interest of the state to come out with a law that will represent the people's first mantra of the present state government, that the sector has an agency that regulates activities that operate within the ambit of the law.
Stakeholders speak.
It is a due process to ensure that the public are carried along before any bill is passed into law, because laws are made for the people and not people for the law. So it is good that they can decide both constructively or in any way to ensure that the right thing is being done.
It's quite impressive, the bill, coming up with the establishment of ICT agency. The deliberations were quite accepted too at the same time. We really have to look deep into it.
The committee, however, commended contributions of stakeholders, observing that the bill, when passed into law, will further empower the agency to attract more investment to the state. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
Death has been described as an end for all mortals sojourning the earth, irrespective of social class, age, race, and religion. Reverend Father Malaki Ephraim stated this at St. Charles Luanga Catholic Church, Essien Town, Calabar, during the funeral mass of late Victoria Nsemmo. Oba Hyacinth was there and now reports.
The officiating priest, while commiserating with the bereaved family over the loss and her contributions to humanity during her lifetime, charges Nigerians to live their lives to the service of man before their final call of death.
Is what? Transient. And so, all the royals, all the chiefs, all the KSJ, all everything, whatever you are, be what? Be humble in their power and their life generally. Because you came with nothing.
The loss of a dear one comes with pains, and this was aptly demonstrated by the deceased daughter, who could not bottle up her emotions despite attempts to speak with NTA News.
She had a beautiful life. She was very wonderful, and now that she's out.
Well, the will of God. There's just nothing we can do. When God gives you his orders, you have to take it. That is, I'm taking the order of God. Finish.
She's not just an educationist. She was the kind of woman that had the plight of the weak. She was kind. She was generous, but above all, she was the kind of person that helped to bring people together.
The mother, she's always been a fair mother, very strict, strict disciplinarian. So yeah, but very fair. You know, so we'll miss her. We'll miss her. She was literally the glue that kept everyone together in the family.
For most African funerals, it was an avenue for reunion of family members and friends, as some sympathizers eulogized the virtues of the disease.
Mama lived a fulfilled life. You can see that today is celebration of life because she left indelible prints on the sands of time. Evidentially, very successful and prominent children who are on ground to sustain our legacies.
But I kind of like to talk about the kind of support I saw her give to her husband in Lagos as a custom officer, a very senior custom officer in Nigeria at that time. In Lagos, I saw Auntie to be a rock, a solid rock, a helper to her husband.
Late Victoria Nsemo was adjudged as a compassionate woman who stood for the less privileged, a trailblazer and a mother par excellence whose virtual life was brought to bear in her public service career as she served the Federal Ministry of Education for several years. The remains of late Victoria Nsemo was later interred to her mother earth in the presence of her family and members of Knights of St. John International of the Catholic Church at her family compound in Calabar. She was aged 77 years. In Calabar, Oba Hyacinth, NTA News.
And those reports makes part of our bulletin for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Justina Etem.